As a stage 4 cancer survivor, consistency hasn't always been linear for me. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to not only train myself, but train clients, and had to go through the process of rebuilding my body from scratch more than one time. Most recently, severely low B12 levels, despite eating 4,000 plus calories a day, had me struggling to keep on 135 pounds. But now that I've stabilized my B12 with self-administered injections every 10 days, it's time to start back training. Now, I've been out of the gym for over a year, more like a year and a half, close to 2 years by this point. So instead of trying to hide that fact, I'm documenting it. For the next 90 days, I am basically rebuilding from scratch. I'll be training at home with full transparency, minimal equipment, and no fancy gym. This isn't a transformation series. This is proof that with a little willpower and consistency, you can change the direction of your health and physique by just starting at home. So let me get started. First day of training, and honestly, I wanted to train this morning, like early this morning around 6 a.m., but I had some stuff to do, and it have a serious wave of Sahara dust in Trinidad right now. You can't even go outside if you have things like allergies and asthma, you will die. I don't think it's that bad, but it's bad. So this morning I had a lot of errands to run also, and I now reach home. It is, wow, 10 minutes to 1. So it's almost 1 p.m. and I haven't had breakfast as yet. But we have training this evening, so we had to kind of pick it up a little bit. So we're seeing here, and I really hope it will fall long, is 10 ounces of rice, 2 whole eggs, and 6 ounces of minced chicken. Something roll long there. So because I'm trying to train around, let me say 8 o'clock this evening, 8 o'clock tonight, this meal going to kind of satiate me for the while. The next meal going to probably be a shake, more higher in protein, and this evening we're going to have a bigger carb meal again before training. While I'm eating this, I want to show you a clip that I recorded yesterday. Yesterday I was actually trying to vlog, but because my B12 was so low, it was the day that I was supposed to take the shot, I had a crash, and I really couldn't focus enough. I'll show you this clip of me just before I take the shot, trying to explain what I'm doing, and you will see what I mean. Alright, so it's Sunday morning, just wake up, take a bathe. It is already after 10 a.m. So you can see by the look on my eyes, I feel like absolute crap this morning. And that's because today is the day that I'm supposed to be taking my B12 shot. So I'm going to do that right now. So what we're using is cyanocobalamin. This is the vial here. So this is a 30 ml vial of 1000 mcg per ml. And this is the shot here. Is 1 ml. So 1 ml shot here. Just take the shot, finish it, and in about an hour or two, all the brain fog, all the fogginess, all the, like you could see how long it's taken to come up with words. Like all that lagging going to stop. And this morning I wake up sweating, so the AC was pumping. I had the AC on 20 degrees whole night on, and I wake up feeling cool but sweating buckets. So that's just to show you some symptoms of how low B12 does affect you with your brain fog, with controlling your internal temperature, your core temperature of your body. So after breakfast I had a shake about a couple hours after, and then it was time. And I'm not going to lie to you, walking into the session, it felt real good to be back doing what I love to do, but it felt unfamiliar at the same time, if you understand where I'm coming from. And you always hear people saying this, but you never really understand it until it happened to you. And it happened to me a couple of times, so I understand it well. When you stop training for whatever reason, health complications, you just needed some time off, for whatever reason, you stop training, strength don't wait on you. Your strength don't wait in the gym, so when you go back there, you can just pick it up where you left off. You literally had to start where you are. And for the length of time that I was off for over a year, it's basically starting back from scratch. Yes, you have muscle memory, but the load on your CNS is a whole different level. And as we go into this clip, you're going to see me struggling to lift weights that I will normally use to warm up on curls. And I'm telling you, it's really starting under this load right now with this bar alone. And this bar is not a traditional gym bar. This This bar is a lighter bar. It's about 20 to 25 pounds. And it's not the load on your back, but getting your body aligned properly. So that is what we're actually doing for this first phase. This first phase of the training schedule or the training program is about getting your CNS back in line with training. Because without load on your CNS for so long, and you just go to drop 225 pounds, 315 pounds, so much it was I used to squat back in the day. I don't want to think about it because it's going to make me cry. Because look at the weight I'm using right now. It's about getting the CNS back used to that load in a sense. So as we go along with these sets, you could see me taking my time setting up. And I'm taking as much time as I need to actually set up to do this. Start from the floor, feel your foot, get everything tight, and then you start your reps. Now, I'm not trying to do a whole lot of reps. I'm not trying to do a whole lot of weight. This first phase, like I said before, is just about getting your CNS used again to the weight or to the load that you're putting on it. Now, barbell squats was always one of my favorite exercises. I always love to do barbell squats. And you could see with these clips, I'm having a hard time finding that position or that form again that I had in the past. It's going to take a little while to get that form back, to learn how to brace your core properly, to learn how to, what I have a problem with right now. And if you look at the reps that I'm doing, right, I have a problem right now with opening my knees up, opening my hips up, and allowing my body to go center of my hip. If you look at it, my chest traveling more flat as I go down. Now, that have to do with the length of my femurs and wherever. But if we don't go scientific on it, the problem right now is working on the tight hip flexor muscles to allow my legs to move over my knees a little more, open up and out while my feet stay planted flat, so that my body, my upper body, my torso could go straight down in the hole in a sense. So for this CNS training phase or for this introductory phase into the training session, we're limiting the amount of reps and we're limiting the amount of weight that we're using. We're working on form for this. So 5 reps, 3 sets. And that's what we do for squats. I use a weight that, again, I could have curled back in the day for warm-up, but this is not about the weight. This is about relearning the form, relearning how to brace properly, relearning how to track your knees, your ankle, your toes, your hips, learning the pattern in a sense again. So right after we warm up properly, we do the 3 working sets of 5 on squats and move on to floor presses. And let me tell you why I choose floor presses. Now you can see me here warming up with some weight, right? Some light dumbbell. The reason why I chose floor presses for this, especially the first phase in this routine, I might move on to the bench eventually, but the reason why I choose floor presses is because I have a hard time connecting with my chest. And if you have a hard time connecting with your chest too, like feeling your chest on a bench press, floor presses are the best thing that you could be doing. Now, when you're on a bench, if you're on a bench, it's not fitting the whole width of your back. So therefore, if you have a wider back or if you have wider shoulders, it's going to be off at the bench when you're going to bench press. So to get your rear delts to tuck in properly and to fix your feet, it is be hard on a bench that's smaller. If you look at what's going on here on the floor press, my entire back on the floor. That is why it's a floor press for, right? Your back fit perfectly on the floor. From there, you could adjust as needed. And you could see with each set that I do on this, just like with the squats, I took a little more time in setting up. Even when I pressed the weight up, I took a little more time to readjust my shoulders, readjust my leg positioning, the stability of my feet so I could push off the ground, and making sure that I could connect with my chest and not just move the weight, but actually target or hit the muscle that are trying to work. Now, for a lot of people, their chest is one of the muscle groups that are very hard to connect with. If you are one of those persons, I am one of those persons. I find that I have a real hard time connecting with my chest on a bench. And if you're now starting back or if you're now starting, this is the best place to start. Floor presses are the best place to start. You're not going beyond parallel, so you have no problem with injuring your shoulders as long as you keep your shoulders in line with your chest and not overly flared. It will also allow you to push a little more weight than you would normally push on a bench, because you're not going past parallel, your elbows not going past parallel, and you have a little more stability when you reach the bottom. That is what she said. I'm supposed to do 3 sets of 5, but I get carried away because it started feeling so good once I get locked in, And once I find that good position, it started feeling so good that I get carried away. I ended up doing 3 sets, I think 10 to 12 or something around. But the weight was light enough that wasn't even close to 70% of my max, so it worked out in the long run. And right after that, we move into bent over barbell rows. Again, I'm keeping the weight very light on this. It's more about connecting with the muscles in my back than actually moving weight. So it's more about the form. And this is a form also that's hard for people to get. The hinge hip and not moving the knees first. And you could see in some of these sets, you might be able to see it, where I make the mistake of moving my knees first, bending at the knees first, instead of hinging at the hip first. And the outcome of that is me needing to readjust during the set, like with each rep, to ensure that I could actually feel the muscles in my back working and not pulling from my arms and my shoulders. And this one, not like with the floor press, I kept it according to the program. So we did, I think, 2 warm-up sets and 3 sets of 5. And by the end of this, after the squats that we do first, the muscles in my lower back, like by the Christmas tree muscle, it was on fire. It was really on fire. And it felt so good that I asked myself why I wasn't training all the time. And for the last exercise that I chose to do on that day, we went with 2 sets of pull-ups to failure. And let me tell you, when I was disappointed in myself. So you can see me here now setting up for the pull-up. And I want you to look at how much reps I was actually able to do on these sets. And just like with the squats, you remember you're thinking to yourself, I used to squat 315 pounds. And you're going under a 25-pound bar with 2 10-pounds on our side, 2 12-pound on our side, and you're catching your ass to make 5 reps. And 4 days after, my legs still killing me. My quads on fire still. Now, you're going to do pull-ups, and you can barely make 4. You can barely make 5 pull-ups. And you're thinking to yourself, but wait now, I used to strap a 45-pound plate around my waist and do pull-ups for 12 to 15 reps. That's thing to make you cry, you know. Honestly, that's thing to make you cry. But then you had to remember that progression or that goal wasn't reached overnight. That was progressively reached. That was something that you progressed to. Like, I didn't just go in the gym on the first day, go on a pull-up bar, strap on a 45-pound on me and start to do pull-ups with 45-pound for 12, 15 reps. I had to train to reach that point. It took years to reach that point. And yes, for whatever reason, even with yourself too, for medical reasons or whatever, that you had to stop training or you had to default training for a while and you had to start back from scratch, especially like over a year. You had to remember that you're not that person again. You are not the person who was training 4 or 5 years consistently to reach that place of squatting 315 pounds, to doing pull-ups with a 45-pound plate strapped on your waist. You are not that person again. That year that you was off for, that year that you was fighting for your life or struggling to make end meet or whatever the reason is that you had to stop training for, it put you in a position now where you're literally starting from scratch. You're starting from being a beginner again. Yes, you have muscle memory, but certain things like your CNS, your connective tissue, your overall body weight, your bone density, all these things, not the same. So you had to give yourself time. And this is what I'm telling myself. You had to give yourself time. This is day 190 of the first training program since a year or 2 ago, a year and a half or something. So you have to give yourself the opportunity to relearn, to readjust, to find back that comfort, zone in training. I know that's a weird thing to say, comfort zone in training. Wow, yeah, what time? There was a point in time where I was comfortable in training. That's the people who used to train are talking to, right? There was a point in time they reach a place where 30 pounds felt light. That warm-up weight, 50 pounds is your new max, 60 pounds is your new max. But you have to understand that how long it takes you to progress to reach that stage. You can't just come back after a year and expect everything to be the same. And this is mainly why we start with the first 2 to 3 weeks being more or less a readjustment phase, a relearning phase, a phase to put your CNS back in that place where you used to tax it. But don't tax it all the way. You're not training to failure. We do one exercise to failure, and that was pull-ups. And you see how much reps I make, right? So the first 3 weeks, first 2 to 3 weeks, give yourself opportunity, give yourself leeway, give yourself the time to fail, to relearn, to readjust, and understand that just like my progress wasn't linear for whatever reason it was, nobody progresses linear. Anybody who tell you that the progress is linear, they're lying to you. Nobody progresses linear. You're going to have days where you fail. And that is just part of the journey. That is just part of saying, I need to be stronger, not only physically, but mentally. To be able to say, I could deal with this failure because tomorrow I'm going to get up and try again. And perhaps I might fail tomorrow again. But I'm going to try the other day, and the other day, and the other day. And I'm going to keep at it until I could do what I cannot do now. So day 190, it was good. It was real good. I'm doing this editing and this voiceover piece 4 days later. My chest still sore, my quad still sore, but we are training again this evening. I might record this one because today we're doing a different training session from the one that we do the first day. So I might record this one to show you the difference from the first day.